So Marlen, several months ago I was dating this guy named Sean, and the reason I mentioned him is because one time during one of our dates we were having a picnic, and he said, "Don't call me crazy, but when you talk, I see colors." And I was like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "Whenever you talk, I see like these brilliant purple, just like a swirl of purple and a bit of black." I was like, "Well, I mean, that's interesting. I mean, are you taking drugs or?" Like it just happens to me. I see things when I hear stuff, and when you sing, when you sing, it's purple, and then there's like these yellow fireworks that just go off to the side, and I was like, "Wow, that's cool. I have a cool voice." Well, I mean, later on that night, I went home and I was like, "Well, I mean, is he hallucinating? What is this caused by?" So I went out to Google and I typed in like people seeing things right when I hear stuff, and it turned out to be this condition called synesthesia. There we go, that's how I say it. So today I will be introducing to you what this thing is, this phenomenon of synesthesia, because apparently not a lot of people know about it. Have any of you heard about this? Oh, you have? Cool. And then you will hopefully know what I'm going to talk about today. So today I will begin with what synesthesia is. I'm going to explain to you how it happens. And then I'm going to tell you what are the different forms of it, because there are different forms of it, a lot of different forms. And then I'm going to give you an example of what a person will experience with each form. Now before I go on with the different forms, I want to just tell you what it is. What is synesthesia? Why is it caused? And it's a neurological condition where the stimulation of one sense causes an automatic and involuntary stimulation of another sense. Sounds confusing. Apparently it's a really rare condition. It is rare. According to David Brain, a researcher from UCSD, he states that only 2 to 4% of the population have this condition. And what happens is, we all know there's 5 senses, right? There's hearing, sight, touch, smell, taste. And there's different regions in our brains that deal with these senses. And in a normal person, you experience a stimuli. You see something, right? That stimuli travels from your eyes to your brain to the specific region that deals with sight. And it, for example, right now you're hearing me talk and you're seeing me talk, right? You're seeing me, you're hearing me. With someone with synesthesia, for example, Sean, he would see me and me talking would affect his sight too. It would cause colors to come up and blow around me and then fade away, apparently. That's how he described it. The form of synesthesia that he had is called chromesthesia. It's when it has to do with your sight and hearing. Hearing affects sight or vice versa. But it's only one of the forms of synesthesia. There's several others, which I'm going to show you. So, that's where. The first one is called grapheme color synesthesia. And grapheme, the word, refers to written language, such as letters and numbers. And in this form of synesthesia, the person that has this form, they see letters, but they're colored. Like, for example, here, the E is like a light green, and also for numbers. So if you were to give someone this form of book, they'll look at it, and it's all colorful. It would be really interesting to read that. And it's the most common type of synesthesia is the one that's reported the most. And another type of synesthesia is the one that I was talking about earlier, the one that Sean had, called chromesthesia. And this one has to do with sound and sight. And so pretty much a sound triggers mental images, which, for example, if you were at a concert, you'd be hearing the music, but it'd be like 2 in 1. You're in a concert, and it's also like a display of beautiful light. It's a light show at the same time. Or it can be the other way around, where you see colors, or you see a painting, and instead of just seeing a painting, you're also hearing a symphony, because of all the colors make all these sounds. It's mind-blowing. For example, this visual shows a lion, and for someone that has chromesthesia, hearing a lion roar could turn into this beautiful colors of like orange and blue just vibrating around the lion. It's very interesting. The next type of synesthesia is the most rare. It's called lexico-gustatory synesthesia. And lexical refers to words and language, and gustatory refers to taste. Can you guys guess what it would be about? So with this form, what happens is you literally taste words. You could be talking to someone and they say, for example, they say bracket, and you taste egg for some reason. It's very interesting. It's because your brain is, for some reason, it's cross-wired, so that whenever you hear something, at the same time, it also initiates your taste buds to remember a certain taste. And the interesting thing about this one too is that I was actually searching online. I was on a blog about a person that has this form of synesthesia, and there was this one post where they were ranting about how life was unfair because he was like, I found the perfect girl, she is just perfect for me, we click, but I cannot date her because her voice sounds so it tastes so disgusting. And I was like, what? And I was reaching it, and he pretty much explained, like, I have this form of synesthesia where certain people, their voices are pleasant, they taste pleasant, but other people, I cannot stand to be around them. And this girl just happened to be like that. And I mean, I found the poor guy. And I just put this photo because I can't even find anything to put this for. The next three forms of synesthesia are more everything that I've been showing you is abstract, but these are just more different. The first one is called spatial sequence synesthesia. And what happens is that you see numerical sequences as points in space. Or if I were to ask you, oh, what month are we in? You're like, oh, it's August. If you had this form of synesthesia, you would be, August is right here, September is over there, and you would see the other months around you, kind of like this guy right here. You can see all the months are like, they have that space. Like he has this mental map that he sees whenever he thinks about the months. And the same thing can happen for days, like Sunday, Saturday, Friday, Thursday. It's a very different kind of synesthesia. It doesn't involve, in a way, two senses, like we have been talking before, hearing and sight, or tasting and hearing. It's more involves like vision and spatial recognition. And the next form of synesthesia is very similar to it. It's pretty much just number form synesthesia. The same idea about the whole space. It's just that you see the numbers and they make it different, like a radio, like space time. It's very, very different. Lastly, I'll go quickly over the last one. It's called personification or ordinal linguistic synesthesia. And ordinal refers to order, and linguistic refers to language. And then this one, numbers, days, months, letters. Whoever has this form of synesthesia, they associate numbers or letters with personalities. For example, here we have I. These are drawings that a man made because his wife has this form of synesthesia. And the way that she describes I is a meek, cautious, and quiet person. It's a female and it's white. When she thinks of the letter I, that's what she thinks of. Whenever she sees the letter I, she personifies it into a female with those characteristics. Or A, that is similar to E and R, only a little more devious with it. Very interesting. Well, that was only a couple of the former synesthesia. There's a lot more. It's very interesting. It's really fascinating. There's not that much research though, because, like I said, it's only 2 to 4% of the population. And I believe that research on this could really help us understand how the brain segregates and how it gathers information and makes sense of it. I don't know if you may have known it. I'm pretty sure none of you have someone that has synesthesia, but there's actually celebrities that have had it. And I've never heard of this before. People like Stevie Wonder, Billy Joel, Marlen Monroe, they had synesthesia. That was my...
All right, Zach, what did you think?
She had a really good attention grabber. It got my attention, and made me want to listen to the speech. She laid it out really well in the introduction. She said exactly what she was going to talk about, and then she did. She did a good job of using her notes, but not just reading them. She was looking up at the audience most of the time. She checked her notes to make sure she was on track, but for the most part, she was looking at the audience, talking to us. She was really calm, and she spoke clearly at a nice pace. She was easy to listen to. The visual aids, some of them were pretty good, and then others, I don't know how strong they were, but I guess